Season previews of the BC Hockey League for all 17 teams. Let's start with the Alberni Valley Bulldogs. We're joined by the associate coach for the Bulldogs. It is Evin. Alex, thanks so much for taking the time to chat here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brian.
So we're on the cusp of the 2016-17 season for your club and every other team in the BC Hockey League. When it came to recruiting this year's version of the Alberni Valley Bulldogs, what holes in your roster were you guys looking to fill?
Well, we have a lot of holes. We had 7 players returning from our team last year, 2 of them being our goaltenders. So we got a lot of new faces and a lot of different style type of player we're looking for this year. We wanted to be faster, we wanted to be more skilled, and wanted to have possession games. So that's the type of players we went out and tried to get.
What all goes into putting together the team there in Alberni Valley for yourself and the head coach, Kevin Willison? Is there a specific template for a Bulldogs player?
Yeah, I think definitely we want good kids, good people, kids that value education, kids that like to get out in the community because we're a team that's community-owned, community-driven. So we spend a lot of our time, out building our fan base and supporting our town of Port Alberni. Kids that work hard and want to compete and want to learn. So those are type of characteristics we value, and I'm sure a lot of other teams value that as well.
So your head coach there, Kevin, he is a veteran guy in the league. You've been around junior hockey for a long time. You played in the BC Hockey League. What did you guys learn last season, and is there anything that you identified that you maybe needed to change in style or philosophy or anything like that?
Well, I think you don't want to change too much, especially Kevin. He's been around the game a lot, and he's a pretty smart guy. He's a guy to learn from and work with. Well, I think we learned that, we need to get off to a good start. I think we dug ourselves a hole last year. We kind of battled all the way. We needed to win our last game of the season and get some help to make the playoffs, which happened, which was awesome, and our players never quit. So definitely a valuable lesson for our group, for our returning group coming back, how to prepare for the whole season.
When you look at the playoff experience, the 5 games for your club, you look at a player like Jordan Sandhu, who was outstanding during the regular season, but ends up getting 1 assist in 4 playoff games. Was it a bigger thing for a guy like him to get that playoff experience and understand the intensity and what it's like to play in the postseason in the BCHL?
Yeah, I think so. It's a different game. Come January 1st, everything gets ramped up. Rosters are fully set. Teams are usually snowballing in the right direction. So the space on the ice gets tighter. It's good for our players, obviously, to make the playoffs, the ones that are returning. They're pretty excited to get in, and they saw how difficult it was when we played in Nanaimo, how quickly it can end. So I think the group coming back is pretty motivated to make something happen.
Let's talk a little bit about Sandhu. He plays last season as a 16-year-old, which is a difficult task in any junior hockey league, but has an impact as a 16-year-old with 40 points in 44 games. Do you think that he's set to make a quantum leap this season in his 17-year-old year?
Yeah, we don't want to put obviously too much pressure on Jordan, but we really believe in him as a hockey player, an athlete, as a person. He comes to the rink every day with a smile on his face, and he's working hard, and it's definitely contagious. Even though he is going to be 17, we value him as one of our leaders. It's just the type of kid he is. He's a very skilled individual, and he plays bigger than his size. We're expecting him to obviously lead our offense, and we definitely have a few other guys, maybe coming out of the woodworks that no one really knows about to chip in as well. So we like our forward group, and George is definitely going to be one of our leaders there on the offensive side.
There in Port Alberni, there's obviously a diehard group of fans that really bleed Bulldogs. What can fans expect from your club this season compared to last?
Well, I think we're always going to work hard. I know we're always going to work hard. That's a trait that Kevin is known for instilling in his players. We're a blue-collar town, so we like to mirror our hockey club after our community. But we're definitely going to be pretty quick this year. We skate really well. We're a better skating group on the back end already. And we definitely we can score goals, as we've seen early here in the exhibition season. So, yeah, I mean, we're just going to be, the same type of hardworking group, but with a little more skill, a little more compete, and a little more speed. So we're hopefully going to take a good step in the right direction.
Right now, what would you say, if you could pinpoint one thing, is the strength of your team?
I'd say right now, before the regular season officially starts, I think our goaltending. We have 2 returning guys, Brody Clays, a 6'4" goaltender, and Carson Shammerhorn, who had some big wins for us down the stretch last year when we needed to get into the playoffs. Both of them went through some ups and downs, but I think, being second-year goaltenders in the league, we're a team that doesn't have a lot of experience on the back end right now. We have a lot of new faces, so we're going to be looking for them to solidify our team early. But both kids work super hard. They're great teammates, and our team is really coming together off the ice, which is also another strength that happened early. So we're pretty excited to get going here on September 9th.
The Bulldogs are a team that have made the playoffs in 4 straight seasons, but every single season coming in, there's certain challenges that you face. For your club, what do you think is the biggest challenge heading into the regular season here?
Well, like I said earlier, I think getting off to a good start is pretty important. I've been a part of this team for a few years now, whether it's been in a part-time role or a full-time role like last year and this year. And I think getting in the playoffs is great. But we want to help ourselves. We want to make sure we're a team that's, building towards the playoffs all season, not kind of scrambling to get a spot. And we know how tough the Island division is. Usually the teams that are 1-2 seed are pretty hard to knock off. So home ice advantage is crucial. So we're definitely trying to get off to a good start because we know we've seen the Bulldogs in the past kind of come together at the end. So if we can kind of put our start together, we should like our chances a little bit more.
We focused on Jordan Sandhu a little bit, and it's pretty easy to do that, being that he was 3rd in scoring on your team last season. But are there other returning players, and you mentioned about guys coming out of the woodwork, are there other returning players who maybe played in a lesser role last season that you're kind of expecting to make a jump or take a step up to a bigger role in your lineup this year?
Yeah, we do. We have a couple of guys that come to mind. Tristan Vukovic, last season came to us in October, and he took a lot of time to kind of get going, but we worked with him and gave him an opportunity, and I think he had like 18 of his 24 points came after Christmas, so he was a good player for us down the stretch, hard-nosed player, fast player, he's got some good skill. He's showing well early in camp and exhibition. Ryan Finnegan, very talented kid. We got him as well for his season last year, and he led our team in points in the playoffs. So Ryan's a plus player, and he's only getting better and getting stronger. He's a little guy, but he's we're expecting him to be very creative offensively as well. On the back end, we have a couple defensemen that we believe that they could be really talented players in our league. Trevor Cosgrove coming from Phillips Exeter Academy out in New Hampshire, and Connor Welsh from Sandhu College are 2 very skilled, quick, puck-moving defensemen that should help our offense.
One last question before I let you go, Alex. What does it mean to be an Alberni Valley Bulldogs player?
Well, I think I was never an Alberni Bulldogs player. I definitely disliked playing against the Bulldogs. Just they're one of the hardest working teams in the league. Great fan support, very passionate, competitive players, and I think the teams over the years have always tried to keep that identity. So, I think we're very lucky here in Port Alberni. The community supports us really well. and it's a great junior hockey town. So we're hoping to give the fans a great season.
Alex Evin, the associate coach for the Alberni Valley Bulldogs, joining us to give a preview of the 2016-17 season. Alex, thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate it, and best of luck this season.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for the time.